we'll look through those in just a minute. We do have
people all over the world.
Philippines, New York, Canada, London, everywhere. People are from everywhere. And here are the links.
I want to come eat in your countries. One thing I realized, especially, with marketing, it's finding what's working and doing 10 times more of it. I was doing a workshop this morning, I've been doing office hours for free. And one of my new favorite things is I love seeing people's fridges. I love seeing the fridges of the world. Maybe at the end of this, I'll open up my fridge. I can show you what's in mine.
Oh my gosh.
I love, know what people's fridges look like of the world's.
I love it, but I don't know if they have any tacos in Israel or Sweden. So
Israel. Shalom.
You might be out of luck on the taco front, which obviously, if you guys don't know Noah's like the #1 fan of tacos in the world. You're actually the reason I use the taco emoji in Slack. So everyone gives like a thumbs up or something like that. And I think I saw you using a taco emoji and I was like, I like tacos a lot too. Let's just go taco emoji. And then I won't be the stupid thumbs up person anymore.
Everyone, needs to find their own emoji. So everyone, if you can do an emoji, if you're on Mac, if you hit Control Command Spacebar at the same time, it brings up the emoji thing. But everyone, post your favorite emoji. What emoji? This my emoji, I would say, is like the cowboy taco, the cowboy face.
Yeah.
What would you say your emoji is?
I'm often the rocket ship, so here we go.
Oh, the rocket ship.
Yeah.
The Steelers rocket ship. Devere's taco.
Yeah.
Kasim from Lebanon. He's got the dancing woman. I love it.
And this actually, this is kind of ironic. Let's skip ahead actually, because this is actually a small component of personal branding that I think people might miss out on, which is you can put an emoji in your LinkedIn profile. You can put it in your name, in your like Gmail name. You can put it in your signature. You can put that emoji in Slack. So all of my Slack groups, you can actually set a status with your emoji. So all of my statuses are winning, and I use this little rocket emoji. So aside from that random thing, when it comes to personal branding, a lot of people think about you. They think about like these big names, Gary Vee, Molly Pittman, whoever it is, Ryan Dice maybe. But those are all people, including you, that are outspoken and bold, good at public speaking. To me, I also think about the other side of personal branding, which is like not so public and popular. It's more about having the right connections and knowing the right people. So give me some of the personal branding tips on maybe both sides, on the outspoken, go do a YouTube video side, and on the quieter, meeting the right person side.
Dude, I just am so excited by everyone's emojis.
I know,
this is awesome. And look, we'll talk personal branding. I'm going to give you a lot of tactical things you can go do today. If you want fluff, go check out maybe a different workshop. But Blanca's into biking. I'm loving that. So 2 things, if you guys are interested in seeing how I do my personal branding, go to youtube.com/okdork and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I literally just show everything we do at appsumo.com, which is an 8-figure company that I helped start. And then sendfox.com/Noah is my weekly newsletter for marketing. So one quote that I've been thinking about personal branding that's really stuck out for me recently is, the stronger your opinions, the more people will follow you.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. The stronger your opinions, the more people will follow you. And so it's not that you should go out there and be a lunatic. I'm looking, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at that one person.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah. And so, I'll talk about personal branding. I'm going to give you the tactical stuff, but I think what people are missing is that they have either nothing interesting to say, or they're saying it so vanilla that no one cares to hear from you. And you need to think about what's your unique story. So I just was talking with this guy named Satish. He lives in Malaysia. He works in a food manufacturing plant. He's furloughed right now. And he's like, I love making videos. And I said, Satish, one, to have a brand, you have to commit for a year to do one thing a week. So I always recommend starting with a newsletter. Sendfox.com is a free newsletter built for weekly newsletters. I built it for myself because I didn't like paying for MailChimp or these other services. So I recommend is every single person open up a Sendfox.com account, and every week you send one email, and you do that for a year. The second thing, so one, you have to pick something. So one, be consistent, but pick something that you're unique for. He works in a food manufacturing plant. That's so interesting. What the hell are you doing in a food manufacturing plant? Why don't you take something that you have? Because like Thomas, I can't out Thomas. I can't out Maeve, but I can know a Noah. And so pick your unique angle that people want to hear from you about. And the thing that I've realized, so I've been blogging okdork.com, which is my personal blog. I've been blogging since 2000.
Wow.
2000. So I'm a dinosaur. I'm like a few years away from death in internet years. But the thing that I've recognized for that is that I am doing what I would do for free. Think about that. And when you're trying to build your personal brand, what is your motivation? So a lot of people are like, I want to sell a course, or I really want a job, or I really want to make $1,000 a month. So why not just maybe make the $1,000 a month and don't try to build a personal brand? So there's something, we started a course called monthly1k.com. I really don't want anyone to buy it. It's $7, but it's monthly1k.com. And so if you're like, hey, I actually just want a side hustle, or I want freedom, or I hate my job, or I hate my boss, maybe not actually building the personal brand is the best strategy. And what I can do as well, if you're interested, Derek, and if the audience is interested in, I can share some of the marketing stuff I'm doing for my personal brand that's been working, if you guys want to hear that.
Yeah, let's get into that. Really quick, I think the most important part, if people are thinking about this, the personal branding, is that unique differentiator of what makes them themselves. I think it can take us a little while to find that. For me, I'm focused completely in e-commerce technology right now, but just 2 years ago, it was like marketing as a broad sense was what I was focused on. So I think if you're in a broader space, if you're not in a food manufacturing plant, you might look at what you are good at and then look for a unique angle to take on that. And like you said, it has to be unique. It has to be a point of view that isn't just on every single blog or website.
Well, so for everyone out there, because I think they can hear me and they can see Derek and they're like, oh, those are two good-looking white men. But for everyone in the audience, what is your one unique thing that you would talk about? Let's just say you want to build a personal brand, because one thing that I found for growing AppSumo, which is now an 8-figure company, it's the #1 site online for software deals, is that a lot of our customers, two things are really fascinating. One, they found out about AppSumo because of me. And it's not, oh, me, but they connect with Noah. They like Noah. They trust Noah. Oh, Noah runs this company or helped start this company. I don't run day-to-day anymore. Eamon does, and does a great job. But they can connect with a human easier.
Agreed.
And so that's something really interesting to think about in terms of like they can connect with me more so than a brand. The second thing is that what you were saying is like you did e-commerce tools and finding your unique angle. A lot of people, I always see this question, what's my unique angle? Okay. Yeah. So here's how you figure that out. Just look at what you're doing for free anyways. So I blog for free, and I've been blogging for free for 20 years. And so just think about what you do when no one's telling you to do it. Just here's another way you can figure that out. You have $1 million in your bank account right now. What do you want to be doing tomorrow? And then that's all you do tomorrow.
One caveat, I agree completely. I think it's the intersection of what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and what you can make money from. Because you can't make money from some people can make money from
I think you can make money from any interest you have. Here, challenge me. Pick a weird ass challenge. So yes, I think you have a great point, which is watching TV. Perfect. So I think there's an intersection between what you like to do and what the world will pay for, right? Yeah. And so you want to get that little intersection. And I do agree with you. You need that. But I think with any interest, you can make a job out of it. And I don't like jobs. I like careers. A career is something you're excited to work on forever. So in terms of like watching TV, all right, could you get a job at Netflix? Probably. Could you start a review site? Yeah. Why don't you start RottenTomatoes.com or Goodreads.com or whatever that is? Could you start doing YouTube? Like one of the big YouTube channels is watching movies and doing reactions. Could you be the more modern Roger and Ebert person? Roger and Ebert, the two fat guy and the skinny guy that did thumbs up, thumbs down on movies. You guys are probably too young for that. But they made movie reviews, and you could do that on YouTube for free. YouTube is free, which blows my fucking mind. Yeah. And so look, those are just 5, and I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying that people now are making millions of dollars playing video games. Yeah. And if you would have told me that when I was in my Nintendo playing Mario World 1, I would have blown my mind. And so I think what I always try to encourage people and be so much confident is that the opportunities today for starting a business are better than ever, especially if you got let go, which is now a chance for you to create your own freedom and create your own control.
Absolutely. Let's get into those other marketing tactics.
Yeah, people. Okay. Hell yeah. So a lot of these people, I think I like Tony said, I'm kind of good looking. That's what I go for, Tony. Not the best. I told you, my favorite grade is A- because you get the good stuff without all the hard work. All right. So let me just show you guys I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I'm doing to grow my personal brand. And this is stuff that you can use in any type of marketing. So the way I always structure my marketing every single time for AppSumo, sendfox.com, YouTube channel, number one thing is your goal. Number one thing in any of your marketing is goal. And I'll give you tactics in just a second. But if you don't have a goal, you're going to be lost. And there's 3 types of goals you can use. Uno, dos, tres. Number 1 is a destination goal. Hey, I'm big now. I
made you bigger.
No. Number 1 is a destination goal. What's a destination goal? It's saying I want to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So 2 years ago, I started a podcast and I wanted 100,000 downloads per episode. And at the end of the year, I got 30,000, so I quit the Noah Kagan Presents podcast. You can check it out, okdork.com/podcast. So that actually screwed me over, Derek, where after I got my only 30,000 and I wanted 100,000, I quit. But it turns out I still actually loved podcasting 6 months later. And I said, well, why don't I change it to a systemized goal? What's a system goal? You can guess. It's what's my system, meaning I only want to put out 1 episode a week. And because I love doing it, but having the objective goal killed my buzz. And then there's a third goal, which I'm doing this year. It's a new type of goal. It's called a progressive goal. And so a progressive goal is not saying I'm going to do 3 a week. It's not saying I'm going to do 1,000 downloads. It's a mixture of the two. So I do it on my newsletter. And you can subscribe, sendfox.com/Noah. So a progressive goal is I don't care. And a goal, most importantly, has to be hard and has to be something you want. And so a progressive goal is I want my newsletter active audience, not my email list size, but my active audience, which I think is the most important metric in email marketing, is that number of people who are clicking or opening an email within the last 3 months. I want that number to grow every month. Because I don't care if 1 more person does it or 1,000 or 10,000. It doesn't matter. If 1 person does it, I'm just as happy. And so that's a progress goal. And that's actually where I focus more of my efforts. And so I think everyone needs to have a clear destination. Like you wouldn't try to drive somewhere without knowing where you're going or how you're planning on going there. And so some of the tactics, because I'm going to get in the meat. I promised you meat, and I don't believe in vegetarianism, so we're going to get right to it. So some of the things that have been working for me specifically is think about where your audience is. My audience is hardcore in LinkedIn. A lot of AppSumo and our business is on LinkedIn. So I do a lot of my marketing on LinkedIn. The thing that's actually changed the game for me is I do entrees and appetizers. What's that mean? So I record 1 video on whatever topic. So I made a video this morning called Why I Hate Every YouTube Business Person. I hate all of these YouTube business people that are bullshit and they're all fraudsters and fakes. And so I make a long video about it because I believe in it, because I think the people to really learn from are billionaires who aren't on YouTube. And then I cut up that video into nuggets, like golden nuggets. Not like the whole crappy part, but 2 minutes of the best part. And I natively embed it in the different worlds. So I put that into YouTube. I put that on Instagram TV, put it into my Twitter, and then I put it back, and then I put the full one on YouTube, and I'm starting to do mini ones. And so native embeds of small nuggets, really good. Number 2, reuse your old best stuff. So if you have old blog posts or old tweets or old videos that were good, just repost them now. That's it. Right?
Did I tweak it at all, or
no? I don't tweak it at all. Someone actually recommended it to me a while ago, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so stupidly obvious." Think about it. If you know you have a good dish, keep serving up that dish. The other thing I would say with that, number 3, is that I have a blog post. I've had a few blog posts that started. Like Uncle Google, he blessed me. It was Christmas and Hanukkah morning all in one, and he said, "Noah, I'm going to give you some free traffic today." So if you search recession-proof business ideas, okdork.com starts showing up. And so I actually made a mistake. I said, oh, and I don't know if it's a mistake, but I said, oh, business ideas. Wow. That's a great keyword. And there's, SEO, blah, blah, blah. Let me go make more videos and more articles. And one of the person on our team was like, why don't you just improve the one article that's already working? And so I think there's a concept in marketing that I really want people to think about, which is 10x down. So what is already working? Instead of doing necessarily just more other things around it, how can you 10x that piece? So we went back to the article, and now we're fleshing out that article a lot more. And then we're going to also do more videos around that article. And I think that's probably, if I had to say, the number one problem in marketing is people try too many things, and they don't take the one that's working and do 10 times more of it. They do 10 of all of them, and they don't stop the ones that are sucking. A few other things that I think are working. I've gone back to spending a crap ton on ads because everyone pulled off, so I pulled in. I think that one's been huge. I think weekly newsletters. So if you're running any business, I know, Derek, you're big on e-commerce, and you guys should check out Derek's stuff for e-commerce tools. If you're in e-commerce, if you're a consultant, if you're a restaurant, if you change oil, if you want to start making money teaching gardening, do a weekly newsletter. Why? Because Derek is busy, Harsha is busy, Vasil is busy, Noah's busy. We don't care about you. The only way for me to care about you is that I need to get your attention or pay attention to you on a regular basis. And the way to do that, the best way to do that at scale is email. There's no other channel where you can reach your audience consistently via email.
Okay, but emails suck. And I would challenge you on that second part too. Email newsletters tend to suck.
Come challenge, dog. Let's go.
But like, how do I make my email newsletter not so sucky?
All right. So for everyone out there, and there was really great stuff. So I want to highlight some of these people that have, everyone's got something unique. Nico's got education. Kasim's got e-commerce. If you're interested in learning about marketing, go to cinfox.com/Noah and I'll do a weekly marketing newsletter. That's what I share because that's what gets me excited. And so did you check your email this morning? So everyone there, including you, Derek, don't lie to me. Say, I want yes or no in the comments. Yes or no, did you check your email so far today? Derek, yes or no?
Like 10 times.
Yeah, I check my shit all the time, man. I love checking my email. It's like goodies every moment. I'm getting this like stimulus. I'm like getting oh my God, another one. Ding, ding, ding. So I'll go through more tactics. I'll tell you guys more of the things that are working and not working. Every single person checked their email this morning. People are telling me, Noah, you got to get on TikTok. Fuck TikTok. Right? I don't give a shit about TikTok because still the audience that I care about, and that's what matters. In marketing, there's only two things. Who's your customer and where are they? That's it. And I think what a lot of us do is chase instead of lead. And so in terms of emails, the easiest thing is, Derek, I'm curious your answer. You read your emails this morning. Which ones excited you? Just think about it. Don't go look.
The ones closely related to revenue. So people like sponsorship responses.
Keep going. Okay. So someone's sponsoring the e-commerce tools.
And then I actually like some Quora emails that are like, you know, interesting facts and like stuff like that. So I go through a few of those. Yeah. Maybe Haro outreach if I had the time.
Haro, yeah. So everyone checks their email, and I think the way to reverse the equation is what emails do you get and why, and how can you be like that to your audience? So just for example, at appsumo.com, which everyone should go and subscribe, even just to see the new tools that are coming out for businesses, and they're always great deals, appsumo.com. They have a team of 5 people to make one email that they send out every other day.
Wow.
They basically promote
a team of 5. Do you realize how much money the company is spending to write a fucking email?
So it basically turns into a sales event.
What people don't realize when they watch a good YouTube video, or when they read a good email, or when they consume a dish, is how much actually goes into it. I've been watching influencers, and part of me hates them, maybe jealousy, but part of me admires how much work they actually do, and they make it not look like work. I talked to this guy, Seth Bikehacks. He's the #1 bike YouTuber. And I was like, man, are you just bicycling all day? That's so cool. He's like, dude, I bicycle a few hours and I spend the rest of the week making these videos. It sucks.
5-day trial.
I'm having fun, but that's something that people don't really realize. And so with email, all you have to do is figure out who is your audience, where are they, and what is it about your email that they would be excited to look forward to. And how do you know they're excited? Because your open rates tell you the truth consistently. You can have an open, subject line that's bullshit and you get a good one, but over time, how is your open rates looking? And so for me, if I'm not hitting 36 to 40%, my audience does not care what I have to say. If you're a sub 10, you need to clean your list and then start really working on quality, not quantity. Email list is done. Active audience is the only thing in email marketing that matters.
Ooh, I'm going to give this tip straight to Growth Marketing Conference too, because I think they do a good job with their newsletter. But yeah, how do we increase those engagement rates for them is really important. But I think what you're saying here is we need to invest more time into the email newsletter. So don't just spend an hour on it or 2 hours. And it's not necessarily 10 hours or 20 hours. It's like,
it could be.
Do it until it's right is really what it is.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you an example, and I think this is a key thing in marketing, is that people spend a lot of time, everyone out here is starting an SEO agency or they have an e-commerce store. And what they do, which is really interesting, is they spend 80% of the time making a product or making a great blog post or making a good video. And what they actually spend the least amount of time on is the title.
I was like, fuck y'all.
We, for every blog post, every podcast, every YouTube thing, we come up with 15 titles.
And here you are,
every single one.
I'm like, fuck you.
And you get it, and guess what? Because the thing that they're doing is they're making these great dishes, and they're spending no time thinking about how they're promoting the dish. What the title? Because at the end of the day, you click on the thumbnail or the title for most of these things, or the subject line. And if they don't have that great, who cares what you put inside of it? So it's definitely both sides that are really important. So you said Vasil's emails kind of suck. No offense, dog.
Yeah, so I thought it was hilarious.
There's a few different things you can do to fix that. One, go look if any of the emails have done well. So one of the things I think I've done well in marketing and our team does well is what stuff is working, do a lot more of it. And that's stupid ass advice and it's hard to do. So I'll try to give you examples of that. But AppSumo is a daily deals business. So they started sending a newsletter once a month. And the newsletter, I was telling someone this earlier, the newsletter does not include anything to buy.
I mean, he actually
it's just a cool thing newsletter. Like, yo, here's a cool show. Here's a cool thing on Amazon. Here's one of the people we work with. Here's some updates of our partners. No sales. That email generates $30,000.
Huh. That's so. Even though there's nothing to buy,
there's nothing to buy.
So I mean,
and now instead of once a month, I think they're doing it almost every other week.
But basically,
and the point being is that
leveraging
people want to be top of mind for you.
The word,
and as long, and I don't believe in the word value because it's so subjective. I don't think anyone's intentionally not trying to create value. But are you doing something that people are looking forward to receiving? And so in terms of Vasil and his emails, I think I would explore if any of my emails in the past have worked well. And then I would start experimenting consistently. Like, can he include a video? Maybe it's an Instagram. Maybe he does a poll. Maybe he just says, hey, what emails can I send you next? And just has one question in there. And so for me, I just experiment a lot. I find the kind of patterns that work. And then I try to just do a lot more of them. And then the only other part I want to add, Derek, and I know you want to add something. Be consistent. Do it, and this is one of the things I'm actually just reminding myself. If you're starting to market to your audience or do YouTube videos or LinkedIn posts every week, like clockwork, and I promise you, you do it for a year, you're going to get some results.
Not only will we do that for
I love it. Awesome. I want to, because we've darted around everywhere. I want to talk about a little bit about something we talked about the other day, actually, where we both kind of agreed. You said you don't believe in this recession. And I was like, I get exactly what you mean. And I also kind of don't believe in this recession or the COVID crisis recession. Obviously, there's a sort of crisis going on, but how the recession is impacting business, I believe it presents as many opportunities as it does lost opportunities, essentially. So what is this non-recession look like, and what can people maybe do during the recession? I'm also going to link right now a blog post you wrote that has some really great tips in it.
Yeah, I don't, I'm almost 40, so I've lived through 3 recessions, and I've made more money every year after recessions, before and after them. And I honestly think that most people are, they're creating businesses that are not valuable. And when the economy goes down, they're like, well, it's like, that's just a sign your stuff no one cared for. If you want to be an employee, it's the same rule. Are you invaluable? And if you're not, this is a great wake-up call. And so in terms of being recession-proof and what that actually means is that the opportunities are still out there. Money is still out here. Money's actually come even back bigger than ever, which is fucking surprising. And I don't quite get it. And
well, inflation will probably be a big problem.
It could be other things. But I think the point that people are missing is that they're still working on the old stuff, but they have not shifted. They're still selling. I was talking with this guy, and man, he wanted to sell some insurance type of like lead gen thing. And his name's Keith. And I was like, dude, you're great. But is there something else related to that might actually be more valuable for that audience now? And I think some people, like restaurants, shifted really aggressively. I think everyone saw it, like take out food, packaged products, move it online, add it to all the delivery places. And some of them are kind of waiting around. And I think that's true for every single business out there. The easiest way to make money right now, easiest way, is find the people who have the money and do something so valuable for them that they can't not give you the money. So think about it for me. So I make a lot of money. It's not arrogant. I'm just giving you putting it out there, okay? I just want to give you examples.
Oh, of course.
I have it. And if you want it, all you have to do for me is say, what's important to Noah? Well, I know he's doing YouTube. I know he's trying to grow AppSumo. I know he's trying to grow SendFox. I know he's got a site called hauldrop.com. So if you're in e-commerce, check out hauldrop.com, HAUL drop.com. And if you can observe what's important to me, all you do is reach out and say, hey, I can do this for you for free even, and let me prove it. And if I give you results, will you pay me? That's how I got my job at mint.com. Do you know that?
You created your role and then presented it to them?
No, so mint.com was hiring a marketing person. And I was like, yo, I just love what you're doing. So go, if you don't know what to go work on, go look at who you're watching on YouTube. Go look on your apps. Go look at what software you love. But what everyone does is this fucking email. I got this Instagram message 2 days ago. Hey, can you meet with me for 30 minutes? I know you're really busy, but 30 minutes, just twice a week. Like, you should do that. And it's not that I'm better than anyone or above or below or sideways. I'm more selective with my fucking time than giving it out for free to some bozo. So at mint.com, I went to them and I said, hey, I want to do your marketing job. And they said, no, we don't want to hire you.
All right.
And I said, well, I'm going to come back in 1 week and show you everything I'm going to do for your company. And when I show it to you, if you like it, there's no obligation, no risk. One of my favorite things in sales is called no-brainers. It's a no-brainer. And after the week, if you like my plan, I want you to pay me $45 an hour, and I will do the plan for 3 months. And after 3 months, if you like the results, you can hire me full-time at $90,000 a year plus equity.
But let's get it going.
And that is how I got the job at Mint, because they said no to me in the beginning, and I made it a no-brainer for them to at least consider me. And then I delivered on my promise. And then the results happened.
Sunday's better for me.
And then I got a job at Mint and ended up making 6 figures, and it, helps, send my career, blah, blah, blah. But the point being is that in terms of recession is, I hate people say shit like this, but it is a little bit of a mindset. It's that you are allowing to say, well, other people are blaming it. It's this virus. It's my boss. This is a chance for everyone to get control and freedom. And so it's like, what can I influence in my own world to start doing that? And even like, people are like, well, no, I don't have no computers.
Well, good luck next
I'm not like Derek. I don't know e-commerce that well. It's crazy. You're a poker player. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So here's like stupid shit. I'll just give you like a few ideas off the top that like, you want to make some fucking money? Read books.
You know what? I don't know.
And just post your fucking notes on YouTube and do one a day.
Maybe on Medium too.
Put it on Medium. Use sendfox.com and send out a daily. By the way, that's a company called Blinkist. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. I thought they were going to fail. We've run them on AppSumo years ago. They're like a 7 or 8 figure company, and they just do book notes. That's number one. That's just one idea. Number two, I was renting gym equipment just as an example.
Yeah, if I do, I'll let
Stupid.
You know, okay?
Just rent gym equipment.
Waste of money.
No, because right now everyone needs gym equipment. So find something. So here's another one. Number two, I'll make it even simpler than that. Text your friends, someone who has money. If they have unemployed, I would leave them alone. But text your friend, hey, what's on your to-do list that's been there longer than a week that I could do for you?
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go. And
number three, you could say, hey, post it to your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your TikTok. I know you guys are like, whoa, TikTok. Post where the fuck you want and say, hey, I'll deliver anything to any of you, or I'll make a video for any of you. And people will start commenting. Another way, number four, is if you want to do a course. A lot of people are like, I need to do courses.
Yeah.
The best way to do a course is to find one person to manually teach whatever skill set. Everyone here has a skill set. It could be baking, it could be juggling, it could be dancing, it could be marketing, it could be poker. So if I was Derek and e-commerce started sucking,
go back to my poker roots, baby. I've got it all. I used to coach, so yeah.
Exactly. So go back and do what you do for free, or go back to what hobbies you did as a kid and maybe explore some of those and just focus on one person and say, hey, like my assistant, Jamie, her name is Jamie. She posted on her Facebook, hey, I make 5 to 6 figures a year being an assistant. If anyone else wants to learn how to work from home, I'm happy to teach you. She had 20 people lined up saying, yes, teach me. And then all she did was take one of them and meet with them in person for $100. And they recorded it, I think, on their phone, her teaching her how she got me as a client, how she processes dealing with Noah, which is a lot to deal with, and getting other clients. Now she has a course that she could potentially sell, or she can just keep doing it manual teaching.
Now you're talking about a lot of people that maybe have lost their jobs, they're looking for new things. But one of the things that I thought was really weird, a lot of people like jumped on the coronavirus. They're like, how to market during a recession, like what to do. And when you have unemployment. And the first thing I realized with all of these articles was that they were focused on everyone that just had no money, which is kind of, they all just lost their job or they're having a really hard time. And so I told a friend of mine, I was like, why are you doing the, what to do when you're losing your job during a recession? Why don't you do the article, what to do when your business is taking off during a recession? And he was like, oh, I didn't think about that. And so, so I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity for people. And then on my part, and we do have to go here in just a second, the one thing I would say is that when I looked at the changing economy and everything that is happening, and I looked at my business, I made the distinct conclusion that I should not change anything that I'm doing. So for me and my business, I do not market about COVID-19. I do not talk about it more than wishing people well and, briefly mentioning it at the top of an event or something like that. But people, I don't think, want to come to what I've built, my business, for content around that. And there's enough people in the space to cover it. So I'm moving faster than ever on the same thing that I was already focused on. And now I feel like we're outpacing our competition because they're all focused on this short-term crisis management stuff. So,
I think there's a few things you said I think are good. So if you're selling something, you want to sell to the people who have money, and everyone has it. You're just maybe, you want to go to the ones who have more of it. I think with the coronavirus stuff, the thing I think that you said, which I resonated with, is it's not that talking. I did a lot of material around coronavirus because I felt that my audience, like on YouTube for Noah Kagan or sendfox.com/Noah or AppSumo customers needed it. But I think what you're saying, which I do resonate, is what is your unique angle? And if your unique angle is like, hey, if you want coronavirus stuff, go over there, because maybe you won't be able to compete with that.
That's how I felt.
And so the one thing I would just highlight with coronavirus, because look, it's not really over, and the economy is still fucking really confused. I think there's a few things to consider. Number one, what are you certain of? Right? Because that's something that a lot of us have uncertainty. So what are you certain of? And then number two, put a plan in place, which I'm not as we put an aggressive plan in place. We assumed our revenue is going to go down 30%. And so I think in every business out there, we basically did two things. We did a defensive and offensive plan. So our defensive plan is called a 30-5. And all we did is we said our revenue is going to go down 30%, and we're only going to make 5% income. What do we have to change in our budget to make that happen? And we did it instantly. So we cut spending on ads, we cut salaries, we pulled back on some people, we cut bonuses, we cut team lunches, we reduced our server bill. And so we did a 30-5 plan. And some people are like, well, that's too aggressive, or that's too, you maybe cut too much. But the thing is, at the end of the day, do I want to be reactive and wait for Corona to happen to me? Or do I want to happen to Corona? And so I think the thing with our business, the AppSumo, I'll speak specifically, is you have to look at what are your leading indicators, because you're saying business as usual. Sometimes underneath the iceberg, there's some shit going on in the ocean. So we look at 4 leading indicators that matter in our business. And we look at them every single day, because even though your revenue might be fine, you need to look at like, well, what are the leading indicators that affect that? So the 4 ones for us is our email list signups, our site conversion rate, our refund rate, and our organic traffic rate. And so we're looking at those numbers every single day, as well as our lagging indicator of revenue, to say, make sure like, all right, even though it's good today, it's going to be fucked tomorrow. So the one thing though I do want to highlight, Derek, is that our company at Sumo Group, we went crazy aggressive during coronavirus. We went crazy aggressive. So the reason we felt crazy, we could do crazy aggressive, is because we set up our defense so that we didn't have to be worried if we're going to go out of business or not. And that gave us oxygen and confidence to go out and be aggressive. So what did we do that was aggressive? We went from 2 full-time writers to 9.
Wow.
We went to me doing videos like once in a never to doing videos every single day and doing different webinars like this, because I felt compelled. I literally felt called by some higher power to come share this stuff. And so someone said this to me, and it really resonates with me. There's a calling for everyone. It's just, are we listening? And when that call comes, are you answering? And so we did a lot of different things like that. A few other kind of marketing tactics, because I know people love marketing tactics. A lot of people used to do these joint webinars. That was really big like 2 years ago. I've actually found joint webinars to companies better, or joint webinars to like YouTube collaborators. So basically what I've been trying to do is find the people that haven't done something before and do it with them. So I've been doing, like I did a joint, I'm going to do one with SaneBox. I did one with Elementor. And even if you're not like a large person, like maybe you don't have an audience or you're starting an audience, find a small company and say, hey, I teach this thing. It'll benefit your customers this way. And I'll help you sell your product, which is what I did for Elementor. I'm going to do for SaneBox. And by the way, I can mention AppSumo, and I could say, hey, go to youtube.com/okdork and subscribe, which you should, or go to sendfox.com/Noah. But those collabs have really done really well. One other thing, last thing, I'd mentioned this earlier, but helping celebs or companies for free. So I didn't even realize this, but I did that myself on Monday. Noah, I thought you're a millionaire. I thought your company's big and you don't do it. The reason I got big, or the reason our company's big, is because I keep my ego at the door, and I keep learning, and I keep doing new things, and I'm experimenting. And so I do things for free. So Tim Kennedy, who is phenomenal, and every one of you guys should follow Tim Kennedy. He's not a rock star. He's literally a murderer. No joke. He is a serial killer. He's Green Beret, UFC top 10, Army sniper, jiu-jitsu black belt of the belt. He is a beast. And I love Tim Kennedy. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, I want to promote you to my audience. And after that, I said, hey, I noticed a lot of things on your site. Here's 10 things on your site that's wrong. I'm happy to go make those changes for you. He's like, what do you want? I was like, nothing. And I truly want nothing. And so next week, and then I made a whole video for him. And next week, on Wednesday, I'm going to his house, and I'm going to make the changes.
Nice.
I'm not getting paid. I'm not asking for anything. But my point, though, is that does create a relationship where Tim is going to tell someone else, Or maybe in the future, so like Tim Ferriss or Ramit Sethi or some of these guys that are pretty known now, it's because stuff like that I did 15 years ago is why we've been able to have a relationship. And that's kind of like planting your seeds and starting today, doing something now, like start your sendfox.com newsletter now, or post your YouTube videos daily now, or figure out one collab. So like for OK Dork, for the Noah Kagan show, every week now, I'm trying to get one big guest and one big collab. And my whole pitch is what's in it for them. So we just got like Lululemon founder, and it's like, hey, I know you have your book. We'll sell a lot of your books. And if you don't know how to sell their books, go sell their book. Or for the collabs, it's like, hey, I know that you're trying to do this stuff. Why don't we do a collab? I'll put you on my show, and then we'll go on your show, and we'll talk about your thing. So I just did one with Ali Abdal. If you guys don't know Ali Abdal, this kid is insane. He's 25, doctor, great accent. He's on YouTube. I emailed him, me and Mitchell and our team emailed him. Mitchell actually did the initiative. It's all Mitchell. And he said, hey, your most popular videos are Notion, productivity, and books. So why don't we do a video where Noah and all your people are students? So why doesn't Noah share his career story, his favorite books? We do a giveaway and we talk about productivity. And Ollie's like, yeah, that sounds fucking great because it's all for him.
Perfect. All right, Noah, we are officially over time. I think a lot of info here. Maybe we didn't stick exactly to the script of the session title, but I don't think anyone here cares is complaining about that. If you guys haven't gotten the memo yet, go subscribe to his newsletter. Go follow him on YouTube. And you said the podcast is back up and running, right?
Back in better. Well, that's one thing I want to highlight. I just can't stop it. If you're recording, if you're doing any action, like you're interviewing someone, or you're doing anything that you're doing once, just record it. So one thing now is like all my like team meetings, all of our behind the scenes, I record them video, and then we put it on a podcast. But I also a lot of times start taking our videos and I'm like, why don't I just take this video, like our Facebook ads? I put our Facebook ads on YouTube. I put my OK Dork YouTube optimization on YouTube. We put our team meetings now on YouTube. And so I think what's interesting is that sometimes when you eat at a restaurant that you like, you want to buy the recipe book. And it just kind of really changed my perspective of like, just document the things you're doing and your audience will actually be excited to learn from that.
Yeah, I agree completely. Awesome. Thank you so much, Noah. We're moving into our next session with Dan McGaw, who's been waiting patiently in the wings, and they're going to move you right into that session right now, hitting the end broadcast button.
Boom. Bye, Derek. Bye, everyone.